Yes, you can show
I'm
me
having
the
the camera.
No, we both have. No, you're just going to both have glasses. Yeah.
Ivy, I'm having more.
Hi, today I'm going to be showing you 1940s style braided hairstyles inspired by the incredibly talented artist Marla Von Duter over on Instagram and her vintage hairstyle challenge. Don't forget to subscribe here on YouTube to me and all my other socials, which I'll link in the space underneath this video. Also, if you click that bell thing, then you'll be notified every time I upload a video, which is really useful. Just as an aside, if I do need hold today in the video, then I'm going to be using my homemade flaxseed gel. I will link the tutorial either down below or somewhere around here if I can remember how to do it. So you can do that too, but please obviously use whatever holding or setting product that you are comfortable with, whether that be setting lotion or hairspray or whatever, gel, mousse, doesn't really matter, but I'm going to be using this. So if you want to learn how to make this, and I do highly recommend it, it's the best gel ever, then click the link. So you're going to want to start with brushed through hair, and then you'll make a centre parting right the way from your forehead to the nape of your neck. I'm using a rat tail comb with a metal, very pointy end. I always worry about having these in the house with kids because they're so incredibly sharp. You can see I have huge amounts of trouble with parting my fringe because it's just got a really odd bit at the front that just wants to go the way that I don't want it to. But once you've pretty much got that centre part from the front to the back, and again you can see mine's not perfect and ultimately it doesn't matter that much because your plait's going to be going over the top. You're going to want to twist the hair away from your face on each side of your parting. I just do this by grabbing the hair as I'm moving my hands down towards my ear. Once you get to your ear, you need to make sure you separate your twist from the rest of your hair so it doesn't get knotted up. And you're going to keep twisting away from your face and then put it to the back of your head. You can now pull on the twist to give your hair more volume, and then clippity clip with bobby pins at the back just behind your ear. You might need one, you might need two, I don't know, but what you want to get is a nice amount of volume in that twist. Now here you might need to use spray. You possibly might need to back comb this area of hair before you twist it, and if you do back comb, make sure that you're not kind of pulling super tight on that back combing, and you just pull and then pin. Now you're going to carefully, without disrupting the bobby pins that you've put in, take the hair over to one side or the other, it's up to you. Now initially I plaited from the kind of under my ear and I realised that my hair didn't reach around my head enough. So take your hair as if you were going to put it in a ponytail up behind the top part of your ear. So take it quite far up. And this is where you'll want to begin your regular 3-strand plait or braid. You want to make sure that you braid quite tightly, so tight to your head. So just pull on those strands as you're braiding. You notice I'm tilting my head slightly and pulling the plait away from my face and away from my head, and that will kind of just make it a lot neater and easier to pull it up and over the top of my head. I'm just going to secure it with the normal elastic. I thought I'd bought some of those tiny clear ones, which are ideal, but I haven't. Right, key bit coming up. When you pull the plait up and over your head, hook your finger, one of your index fingers, at the base of the plait, and this just stops the loop that can often happen in your hair that kind of bulges out and ruins the style. It just tugs the plait down at the base and helps keep everything nice and flat. Put it over in an attractive fashion wherever you want it sitting, forward or back over the top of your head, and then pin with bobby pins. I think I needed 2 on the bottom, and then you can also use however many you feel you need to secure the plait to the top of your bonce. What's artist I'm fiddling with. Oh, hair flower, very pretty. I just like to put one over where the bobby pins meet. Also my ends are a tiny bit kind of thin and straggly. It's nice to cover them up. There we go. All done. It's pretty, isn't it? Just a half braid with those twists at the front, nice and authentic, and it looks swept across at the back. No issues there. Very pretty. Now, I was always much more of a crown braid kind of girl, but I tell you who I saw first wearing these milkmaid braids. Modern June Cleaver on Instagram. She wears milkmaid braids all the time. I just thought they look actually so pretty, and they're super easy to do. So again, you're starting with the centre parting from the very front to the back of your head, and you're going to brush your sides down nice and smooth. I've got a fringe, so I have to get that out of the way. And then begin to, tip. If you've got layers in your hair, spread your layers out over the whole of that ponytail so that you have length in each strand that you'll be braiding with, because the worst thing is running out of hair in one strand and then having to borrow from others. It just ends up with a messy plait. So if you can spread your layers out so that all of your hair will finish at the same time, that will be excellent. Begin to do a 3-strand plait, just pulling nice and tightly. I find that it makes a really nice neat plait if you pull it tight. Obviously I understand if you have thinner hair you might need to, what they used to call, I don't know if they still do, pancake the braid, so pull it out to make it wider, and that's fine. Do that before you put the band on the end of the braid, but you want to continue to braid right the way down to the tips. And you can see now that my ends where my layers are finishing are sticking out, but you don't have to worry about this because the other plait is going to cover the bottom half of this plait, so any messy bits should be covered up, and if they're not, you can just spray and bobby pin them. It's not the end of the world. So just again securing with little elastic. Those little clear ones are so useful actually. You know, you get like 500 in a packet, and they so you could just do that if you wanted to. And sometimes it can pull through when you pull up on one of the sections. It can pull the ratty bit underneath up and under, so you can't see it. So sometimes it has its benefits, and certainly if you've got thinner hair, you might like to do it. So then you just bring it up and over and pin. Again, you're putting your finger at the base of that plait where it meets your head as you pull the plait up, and that will stop the great big loop or bulge, I don't quite know what to call it, that pulling a plait up and over creates. Also keeping your plait nice and tight so your head will kind of control this issue too. You're just going to do exactly the same on the other side. Nice tight 3-strand braid, and you can see I'm going to bring that plait up and over the ends of the first plait. You'll see when I do it. So right the way down. See how orange my hair goes at the ends? It's just natural sun bleaching as my hair's got longer. Does anyone else have this issue? I can never ever get away with it, and unfortunately it looks like damaged hair, but I actually take good care of my hair. It's just the colour makes it look fried. Okay, so you're going to cover that up and just arrange the plaits in the most suitable way for your head. Don't worry about hiding the end first, just get the plaits secure, and you want to use a couple of bobby pins to actually attach the plaits together as well as onto your head. You don't need too many, and then you want to work with kind of tucking in the end and hiding it as much as you can. Again, doesn't have to be perfect, but considering that's just 2 plaits, it looks quite good, doesn't it? I really like it. If you're having a frizzy hair day, it really helps. Or if you just need a quick updo, it's great for summer, keeps the hair off your neck. Yeah, I really like the old milkmaid braid. Show you from behind. Oh, I could have done better on that centre parting, girl. I don't have a mirror though. So the last of the 3 styles today is the standing braids. Again, you're going to want to go for a centre part from the front to the back. I'm trying really hard this time with that comb. But yeah, it's really tricky. I'm just going to secure one ponytail away so it doesn't get caught up while I'm trying to get the ponytail in the other one done. You can see, look, that fringy bit. Oh my gosh. Very annoying. But it doesn't, you know, I bet you didn't notice that in the final look. So these tiny little imperfections, we don't need to worry about them because people just don't see them, generally. Some people do. Haters gonna hate, but, you know, most people don't see it. That was really cringe. Okay, so what you're going to do is take one side into a very high ponytail, high and more towards the front than you would wear it if you were going for bunches. So kind of directly over your ear. I'm going to pull it nice and high, and you want it to be tight and you want it to be smooth as much as possible. It's quite tricky. Use the rat tail comb to brush the hair smooth. If you want to hang upside down to do these ponytails, you might find that a little bit easier. It wants to be, because it's an updo and the hair is up and off the side of your face, you're going to see these bits of hair. So do what you can to make them nice and smooth and as even as possible. And you can, to a certain extent, kind of pull the ponytails once they're done to kind of even them up. Once you've done that, you're going to create a regular 3-strand braid in each, nice and tightly again. Can you see where I make the mistake? You can follow it from here. That first section of braid is not tight enough, and you can see the problem it causes in the end style. What you need to do is make sure the braid is tight from that hairband. So straight away you're going to pull nice and tight. As soon as you've done that first crossover, you pull tight. Do not let that first section be loose, and you will see why in a moment. But again, oh, a motorbike going past my house, so annoying. Again, imperfections are something that we notice more than others. So once you've done your braid, you're going to bring it up, either one, doesn't matter, up and across the front of your face, and you're going to flip it under the other braid and pin at the back. 1 or 2 bobby pins, it don't matter. And then you're going to take your second braid and do it in the opposite direction. Can you see that first section of the braid? It's now sticking up because it wasn't tight enough. It makes the hairdo asymmetrical, and it's something that I then have to deal with later on. With using bobby pins, I have to kind of pin that bulge down. That bulge would not be there if my plait had been nice and tight. So, learn from my mistakes. Not that it looks horrific, it looks fine, and I still wore this hairstyle, you know, it's fine. I'm just smoothing up the sides a bit. But I just see, it annoys me that I have to pin it down. If that piece of the plait was tight, that wouldn't have happened. So keep your plaits nice and tight, and then you can decorate it how you wish. 1 flower or 2 flowers. I can't think what that reminds me of. Some kind of cartoon character or computer game character or something. But I really liked it with this tropical hair flower just on one side. Really nice for a... What am I doing with my top? Oh my god. Yeah, that's pretty. Standing braids. Lovely. Let's have a look close up. Ooh, camera realness. £10 to anyone who spots a grey. I don't think I've got any. Couple maybe. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope that you liked the video. Let me know down in the comments section how you feel about these styles. Do you wear them regularly? Do you not? Did you try them? How did you get on? Did you do the vintage challenge? All of these things. Which styles do you like the best? Basically anything. Let's have a chat about it down below. Love you loads. Thanks. Bye.